Hi there guys, welcome to issue 16. So we've got more Sequitors and Castigators. So we've got two of our standard Castigators and 3 Sequitors, which we've already received these models before. So we've got one with Great Mace and 2 normals. I'll give you a look at the completed models in a minute. Okay, in this issue, your Storm host grows with this issue. As more Stormcast Eternals reinforcement enter the battle. You've received copies of these miniatures before, but more will help you build up units for your army. This issue's playthrough introduces melee weapon ranges into your games. To help with these rules, we have included a rangefinder and some wound tokens on the back inside cover. On the inside back cover of this issue for you to cut out. They'll help you measure shorter distances and track wounds easily in your games. Perfect for melee combat. Happy hobbying. So what else have we got today? So we've got Celestial Vindicators we'll be looking at. Rise of the Wraiths Part 2. Nagash begins his search for a suitable leader to command his Nighthaunt processions on the battlefield. Then we've got Battle 10, Fighting Fury with Fury. The Celestial Vindicators face the deadly magic of Tzeentch as they assault the forces of a great and powerful sorcerer. Then we've got how to build Sequitors and Chain Rasps. This build guide includes simple step-by-step instructions for assembling your new Stormcast Eternal models. Now I can tell you for a fact that is a misprint because we don't have any Chain Rasps and there is none in that build guide. So that's a mistake. Then we've got an addition to the paint guide. Then we've got our playthrough issue 16, Delving into Darkness. In this playthrough, we introduce ranges for melee weapons and show you how to measure the distance between miniatures in the thick of combat. But before we get there, let's start with Celestial Vindicators. The Celestial Vindicators are vengeance given form. Their hearts burn with a hatred for chaos that knows no bounds. To witness them in battle is to see a hurricane of Sigmarite break upon the enemy. Okay. As mortals, the warriors that would become Celestial Vindicators prayed to Sigmar while still soaked in the blood of the enemy. They did not pray to be saved, avenged or transported to safety. Instead, they asked the God King for strength to smite their enemies. They were not granted their vengeance there and then, but snatched up to the heavens. Since that day, they have become part of something much larger. The raging typhoon of war that Sigmar unleashes upon his enemies. Then it's got a bit about the heraldry. Right, the sacred sword. The Celestial Vindicators believe the sword to be a sacred item. They are devoted to Sigmar, but also worship the Father of Blades, a spiritual entity that is supposedly made of the steel spirits of 12 runic swords of an ancient design. For this reason, the Celestial Vindicators often wield swords in place of hammers, favoured by other storm hosts. Okay, interesting. Right, okay, Nighthaunt, Rise of the Wraiths Part 2. The search for a new Mortarch. Nagash's new army of vengeful spirits requires a leader in order to marshal them into an effective army. The Mortarchs are Nagash's top lieutenants, powerful undead leaders that have been granted a sliver of the great necromancer's power. All command their own undead legions and all wish to wield still more power. Despite their talents, they were not the right leaders for the Nighthaunts. Nagash desired loyalty as well, since only Arkan the Black served of his own free will. During the Necroquake, the Nighthaunt had become a power that needed to be harnessed and guided by a trustworthy and competent leader. Directed by a commander gifted in military strategy and psychological warfare, they could become a deadly force. So what have we got here? We've got 3 different characters here. So we've got Neferata. As Mortarch of Blood, Neferata is responsible for spreading corruption amongst the mortals. Her sisterhoods, necromantic cults and vampire covens can be found across the mortal realms. Then we've got Manfred von Stein. The Mortarch of Night is a cunning military commander and schemer. Nagash calls upon Manfred to make gory examples of his enemies and to undertake missions that require a certain amount of devious cunning. And then we've got Arkan the Black. Arkan is the only Mortarch that the Gash truly trusts. Known as the Mortarch of Sacrament, he is often tasked with empire building, finding ways to expand the borders of the Gash's realm. Okay, very, very good stuff. Then we've got fighting Fury with Fury, and we're introduced to the Tzeentch. At the height of the Realmgate Wars, the Celestial Vindicators assault the Eldritch Fortress in the ruins of the shattered city of Elixir. The Celestial Vindicators fight with incredible fury. Their rage and thirst for vengeance is so great that they feel no fear, even when faced with foes as bizarre and horrifying as the magical and demonic followers of the Chaos God Tzeentch. Okay, and then it's got a short story about a battle, which is very cool. Then we've got our build guide. There's a separate video for a build guide which will be going up in the next day or so. So we'll take you through that then. Then we've got a paint guide, and I'm going to be doing weekly paint guides soon, but what I intend to do is catch up with all of my painting and put together one large video for that, which I will release at the same time as my paint guide for issue number 18. So all of that will come together in one great big video, but after that I will move to weekly videos for the paint guide as well. But I don't think this is adding anything into the painting that we haven't already done before, I believe. Okay, and then we've got our playthrough, Delving into Darkness. Now I won't actually be doing the playthrough today. That again is on catch up, so I want to make sure that I'm playing with painted models. So once all the painting is up to date and the paint guides start, I will go back and do these separate playthroughs for issues currently 14, 15 and 16. Hopefully we should be up to date and running with those and catching up with those by the time we get to issue 18. Okay, Delving into Darkness. Xandria Azurebolt has made her way to the dark tomb that glows with arcane power. Somewhere in the depths of abandoned mausoleum lies a magical weapon steeped in death magic. The geists that are within will not let her retrieve it without a fight, however. So, who is she up against? Well, this is going to be a tough one for Xandria. We're back to our small map, and we've got her on her own up against the Briar Queen and the Thorns. Xandria will go first, but we'll start to use our range ruler, a tiny range ruler, which we receive at the back of the issue. Let's go back there now and look at it. So we're going to have all of these wound markers, which we'll cut out, and then we've got this little range marker here. So it's got a 1/2 inch on one edge, an inch on the other, and in the other sides it's got a 2 inch there and a 3 inch there. Some of you guys might already own one of these. There's a really nice metal one that you can buy from Games Workshop, and some of you will definitely have seen it before as well. So we'll be playing through that, and obviously checking our ranges as we go through. There is an extended version of the game that we can play, which adds Sequitors, Glaive Reef Stalkers, and the Mymorn Banshees into the game. So it'll be interesting. When I do the playthrough, I'll do again that extended version of it. And then it's got how to make these combat tools, which is actually quite a nice touch. On this page, we've provided some cutout tokens and tools to use in your playthroughs. To begin, cut the bottom of the page out and stick this to a piece of thin cardboard. A cereal packet will work well. When the glue is fully dried, use a pair of scissors to cut around the tokens and rangefinder. Then glue the two sides of the rangefinder together. You can use these items to keep track of wounds and measure distances. Or what you could do is that if you're collecting Mortal Realms, so as you've got a buddy that you're collecting it with, one of you is going to be Nighthaunt and one of you is going to be the Stormcast Eternals, you can obviously mount these onto a piece of cardboard and then just have one each. Okay, then finally, we've got coming up next. So our next issue is going to be the Dread Scythe Harridans. And then issue 18, we've got some more paints. So we've got Lead Belcher and a paint that I don't have, which is a base paint of Dryad bark. So I look forward to receiving that as well. But more importantly, we've got a new large battle mat, which is going to be coming out on issues 18 as well. In fact, I think I mentioned in my last video that around about issue 18 is where we would expect to see like the new battle mat. So it is following exactly the way Conquest did. So that's great as well. The other thing that we got today is we received 6 more little dice, which is good because 10 wasn't really enough. We were running out of it. In fact, I know I had a load more because I've got duplicates of issue 1. But yeah, it's always good to have more dice. So thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. I'll be back in the next couple of days with the build guide. Again, paint guides coming soon and all that kind of stuff. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, it'd be great if you did. And as always, if you smash that like button, it really, really helps me out. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.